Going up. Going up. Going up. Hey, yo, what? Wait. Look who just subscribed. Going up. Coco Village. Going up. Going up. Going up. Going up. That's rough, buddy. Hello. Going up. Immediately the dog is upset. Immediately the dog is just like, excuse me. You're talking and therefore I get a treat now. So I guess we gotta go do that before I can say hello to all of you, because I'm not allowed to start my stream without doing that at this point. So let's go do that. Let's give the dog a treat. He's essentially biting my foot right now. He's like, hey, I want a treat so badly that I'll eat you if you don't give me a treat. So let's do that. Bonk. Praise. Treat for the treat dog, blood for the blood god, music for the music gods, which is us. We're the music gods because we're the ones hearing the music. When music gets made, it goes to our ears, which makes us akin to gods. How is it going, everybody? My name is Endeavorance. It is Friday, November 7th. Hell yeah, there's a year in there somewhere. What's up, everybody? Vincent subscribed at 11 months and the Almighty Meepers wants me to hydrate. I can do that. I can do that. How are we doing, everybody? How are we doing? It's Rebecca Black's favorite day. Rebecca Black got incredibly talented and very hot while we weren't looking. I mean, like we were looking because she has had a very storied career at this point. But Rebecca Black, what a comeback story. Like, goddamn. She's now like touring and just fucking dropping incredible albums and shit. So good for her. Good for her. Oh, we're licking the leg. We're licking the leg. How's everybody doing? Compared to Rebecca Black, how is your morning going? Compared to having been used as like a child pawn in a sort of like scammy music video production business that resulted in internet virality, causing you to essentially have your life ruined, only to ultimately become an actually respected pop star. How are you doing comparatively? Going up. Who dat? It's the girl who sang Friday, that really really bad song. Friday, Rebecca Black. The one where she's like in the back of the car and like I'm not even gonna play it, but like you'll recognize the screenshot. This one, you know, like this music video of like the girl who's like, should I get in the front seat or the back seat of my friend's car? This is what being a teenager is all about. Yeah, she's like legit a good fucking singer and pop star now, which is cool. Especially because that was like her whole goal, was like to just be a pop star, and like it was the kind of thing where her parents were like, oh, we're gonna do this nice thing for you and get you a deal with this like company that'll make a music video for you and like make your dreams come true. And then it was like the worst thing, but then the best thing that ever happened. So that's neat. Besides what the Supreme Court's gonna do to my rights later today, I'm chilling right now. Are you referring to the, well, God. Good God, it could be any right at this point. The Supreme Court and rights, they have a very fraught relationship right now. They're basically like, hey, we don't think people should have those at all. I'm aware of the thing with gender indicators on passports, like let's see, US Gov gender passport. News. Supreme Court allows Trump to prohibit gender election on passports. Supreme Court on Thursday allowed President Trump to proceed with his plan to require that passport applicants list their sex as what was designated on their birth certificate. The court's decision overturns lower court order, pausing Trump's policy and allowing applicants to choose for themselves whether they want to identify as M, F, or X. Male and female sex markers, blah, 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 blah. The choice to do X began in 2021 under Biden. Here's the thing. essentially what happened is there's an ongoing court case, and the Supreme Court has this little trick they like to do where they essentially don't weigh in on something, and then they hold off on weighing in while also saying we're not going to stop you from doing it while we wait to think about what we're going to do. It's essentially like if you were speeding, you ran the speed limit, you are obviously fucking speeding, it is against the law, you are going measurably faster than the speed limit by a significant margin. The cops, instead of pulling you over, decide to have a debate about whether or not the degree to which you were speeding merits being looked at, and they're scheduling that discussion for like months out. And they've decided that until they have that discussion, it would make no sense to stop you from speeding. So you're just going to continuously speed until you crash into somebody or a tree. So it's like they didn't pass a law saying, or they didn't like pass a ruling saying Trump is right in preventing people from being able to have male and female things, but effectively that's what they're causing, is allowing, giving the go ahead for this administration to do the illegal thing that they're doing while we let it go through the court system, which is like the whole play for their entire administration at this point. This is dumb. This is dumb. There's not even a reason to have gender on your passport to begin with. There is a photog of you on there and an identifier that is like cryptographically identified using like NFC tags and embedded chips and RFID and shit. I don't think personally that one should go to the airport only to have some jabroni open up their passport and inspect a letter under an arbitrary field on their passport and be like, you can't travel because this letter doesn't fall within the allocated letters for genders on passports. Must be M, F, or P. And we're not going to ever tell you what the P is. That's on you to figure out. So yeah, it's kind of an ARG, figuring out your gender and getting the government to respect it. Sort of an ARG situation, sort of like a, side quest. But yeah, this is fucking dumb. There's no reason to have gender on the passports to begin with. There's no reason for them to be doing this. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't solve any problems. It doesn't fix anything. All it does is attack trans people. Like, that's all it does. And like they're running out of ways to do that because people don't like sitting around attacking trans people. It's not a winning strategy, despite how much they're trying to make that the case. The dog is moving to his bed. This is important for me to fix. One moment, please. Okay. There we go. He's comfy. He's got his battle axe just in case. Some people sleep with like a knife or a gun or whatever at their bedside. He's got a battle axe. He's not afraid of you. Look, and he's even ready to wield it with his butt. He's got his tail attached to the battle axe. He just straps it to his tail and swings it around wildly. My little warrior, my little barbarian. Flynn can fight the bad vibes for us, such a good boy. Honest to God, it's been a pretty good vibe kind of week. There's been a shift in the winds. I mean, we had like the nice election results and whatnot. And I think it just helps to finally fucking see a little bit of these fucking losers on their back foot and watching them squirm. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, the head of the Republicans in the House of Representatives, is trying so hard to do the exact line that, I mean, it was blatantly obvious that that's a lot, buddy. That's a lot. Just that's a lot. a licking. It was blatantly obvious that this is the route that they were going to go for, but he's trying to use the line of, no, election night wasn't surprising, and those numbers aren't don't mean anything, because it was just blue candidates winning in blue states. And it's like, God damn it, you are so bad at this. But it doesn't matter, because like I immediately saw in all conservative circles, like that was the line, right? Like everywhere, that was the line, at least like initially. Pretty much immediately the night of, a lot of the conservative spaces were all like, oh, this doesn't mean anything. They're making a big deal out of nothing. We're not owned. We're not owned. They shouted while they slowly shrank into a corn cob. And that's sort of shifting as like more reality sets in. They can lie to their supporters. They can lie to reporters. They can lie on reports. They can lie on documents. They can lie all day long, but they can't lie their way out of being unpopular. Like if people are seeing through you, or if you are doing shit that's not landing with the people whose lives you are overseeing, essentially, you can't just lie to them eternally and tell them that their stomach is full. You can't lie to them and tell them that they have an income. And so like, it's wild to me because I see a bunch of conservatives trying to like, you know, first they were like, this didn't matter. We're fine. But now they're like, oh, we're kind of not fine. And like, there's a huge concern among conservatives of like, you know, is this going to cause fallout for Trump because Trump was fucking toxic on the ballot this time? Like any actual political analyst, not the ones who are giving messages to the public, but behind the scenes political analysts, they're all very aware at just how dismal this election night was for Republicans. And so like there have been Republicans on TV here and there who've been clear-eyed about it and said like this was disastrous. And like if something doesn't change immediately, it's going to get real bad. And they're saying the obvious shit, right? They're like, hey, the economy's bad and people can't afford anything. And like we need to tackle cost of living because we are currently losing on cost of living despite presumably being the party that makes it affordable to live here somehow. Like they've maintained that air about them despite having nothing proving that. Like they have no evidence to back up. They have all evidence to the contrary that Republicans are good at managing the economy. But they can only lie about that for so long and keep people on board for so long. So we're seeing like really weird analysis, like almost coming to a reasonable conclusion. But I've been seeing a lot of discussion about how like, oh, you know, Virginia flipping blue is not surprising because Virginia has a lot of federal workers and a lot of federal workers were laid off by Doge cuts. And it's like, yeah, maybe that was a fucking bad idea. Weird. The people who we championed destroying their livelihood and laying them off ruthlessly, the people who the entire Republican Party championed the idea of pulling the rug out from under lifelong federal service workers and like causing people to lose out on their retirement benefits by like kicking somebody out of their federal job a year before it would have kicked in. And so they spent 19 out of the 20 required years, and then Trump got elected. And now this US citizen who has spent 19 years of their life focusing on their job and doing work is suddenly has no retirement plan and lost 19 years of their career because some weird losers don't like brown people. So like, yeah, there's a lot of people in Virginia who are fucking pissed and they're not going to vote for the Republicans who are pushing to ensure that they don't have a job and then don't have food, nutritional assistance. And so the analysis they're doing is like, hey, you know, obviously this was going to happen. So whatever, like, no, not whatever. How about this is a losing strategy? How about like, oh, they didn't vote for us because this is a terrible way to govern. But instead they're trying to make the case of like, oh, they didn't vote for the Republicans because they just want free handouts and the Democrats are just offering free handouts for shit. And it's like, if that's truly the way you see the world, then like you are doing nothing but proving me correct in that like you have no business having a political opinion on anything, because you're essentially saying like, oh wow, I identify that these people reacted to the situation that they find themselves in. That's their fault and I'm correct and they should have done what I'm doing instead. That's insane. But that's where we are. Rent is 45% of my pay, and now health insurance will be 55%. I'm not winning. Rent is, I mean, it's too damn high, right? Like it's just too damn high, and that needs to be fixed. It's really weird to think about how like owning a home is a thing that a lot of people, especially like as the generations get younger, will just never experience because of how fucking stupid everything has gotten. Something as simple as owning a home. Just nope. Can't do that. It's really weird. Maybe we should have a country. In other good news, war criminal shrugged off his mortal coil this week. Yeah, Dick Cheney, Dickathy, Shotgun Cheney, fucked off this week. He said, I'm done. He saw that Mamdani was going to win, and he decided to die. And good riddance. Goodbye. Just get fucked. You are a war criminal mass murderer, and I hope that when you get to hell, whatever hell your religion has made up, that some being is there to remind you every single day in hell just how much everyone hates you. And then you get poked in the butt with a hot poker. That'd be good. Biblical hell is so dumb. Biblical hell, like the Christian or Catholic, the fire and brimstone biblical hell is like, yo, you couldn't think of a better way to like spook people into being in your religion. You couldn't have been like, hey, if you join our religion, you will immediately have a larger genitals. Welcome to my swinglodiism. Join my religion, swinglodiism. And when you join swinglodiism, boy howdy, doesn't matter what it is, it's gonna swing low. That's a much better way to get people to join your religion than tell them that if they have sex before marriage, they're gonna go suffer eternal torment at the hands of a pokey boy. I don't know about that one. It's just so strange. Like we're like they really just went the like we're gonna scare you into following our rules route. Like it's like pre-jail, right? It's threatening that you're gonna go to spiritual jail if you don't follow an arbitrary set of rules in physical life, which makes a lot of sense as to why deeply religious, especially evangelicals, are so punitive. But Dev, that's a probable claim that religion can't have these. But there are like, okay, but there's religions that make claims that can be upheld, right? Like there are religions that genuinely just focus on spiritual healthiness and like being good to people and being inclusive and all that good shit. More of that, please. I mean, that's like what like paganism and shit is. It's just like community shit and cool holidays. They had all the good holidays before the Catholics showed up and they were like, stop fucking on holidays. Like essentially all of England was a giant orgy whenever there was a holiday. And then the Roman Catholics or whoever showed up and they're like, stop that. Stop that. People be like, oh yeah, end of the year, time to get drunk and fuck for a week. And then the party poopers came. The party poopers came and they're like, no, see, what you have to understand is that that's not how celebrating works. Celebrating works by very neatly setting a table, and you get together with the people that you most don't want to have to see at this time of the year. And then you go around the table having really awkward conversations and avoiding subjects until someone makes a mistake and wanders their way into said subject. And that is how you're supposed to celebrate. Not all these penises. Get that out of here. There's no penis in my Christmas. That's what they said. That's what Jesus said when he came, when Jesus crossed the Delaware and founded Utah. That's what he said. This is why we English hate the French. I feel like the English hate the French for a lot of things, for like a lot of reasons. Most theistic religions aren't that, although yes, Catholics are great at stealing other people's shit like Yule, and yeah, Catholics really like just sort of like doing the I made this meme, the you made this, I made this. They very much like doing that, but unfortunately also they completely change what the thing is along the way. Jesus never got a Christmas present. That's so sad. It's so sad. Like Jesus never got a Christmas present. Jesus probably never got a Valentine's Day card. Do you think Jesus had a secret admirer? I will never forget. I will never forget the entirety of my life. When I was in, I want to say like 3rd grade, we did that thing where it was like, you have to like, you know, everybody had like a Valentine mailbox on the back of their school chair, and everybody like made cards out of like construction paper and put them all in. You had to say something nice about everybody. I'm going through my cards and I get one that says, "Dear Dev, I love you. I think you're sweat." So it's ILUV, letter U. I think it was Tink. You are sweat, SWET. And then they signed it, "Your secret admirer," ATMIER, I think. I never learned who my secret admirer was. I have to assume that it was a ploy. It was a sting operation, really. And I didn't take the bait, but I'll never, like, I was thinking about that the other day. Like, I literally just, it pops in my head, just one of those things, like those core memories that just, why is this a thing that I will never, ever fucking forget, is getting a specifically 3rd grade Valentine's Day card that said, "I love you, I think you're sweat," signed, "Your secret admirer." This man is sweat. That's not wrong. My God, I had to do so much fucking laundry recently because I'd sweat through everything. It's not good. Taking ADHD medication makes me a sweaty boy. And that's my cross to bear. So what do I have on my list of topics that I'm going to forget to talk about? As I've mentioned in previous streams, I've got a little list of topics over here that I'm going to basically never get to because I'm just going to keep rambling and ranting and forget to ever do that. But I'm going to try to read the first one, which just says, "Guy collapsed at White House." Y'all see that? Y'all see this? White House collapse. And the picture that came out of it of Trump. This picture is going to go down in history books. This is the ultimate meme format for this year. Essentially, there was like a meeting going on, like a press conference going on in the Oval Office. A dude off to the side who is standing there fucking passes out. RFK books it out of there. Dr. Oz, who was speaking at the time, like, is the one crouching over here, like, presumably trying to be like, "Are you okay?" I would hope that a guy who goes by Dr. Whatever would be the one that's going to go help if someone passes out in a room. But here is the President of the United States of America. And he just turns. This is his reaction. And he just looks over and is like, what's going on? And then he just stands there like this. And he just froze like that until they got the press out of there. And so now we have this just incredible picture that could so easily be labeled anything you want. Like, this is the ultimate meme format. It's incredible. But here's the actual. Let's see. I don't care about. This is not the video. Where's the video that I wanted to watch? Are you just not going to play it? They're just not going to play it. Let's find videos.
But today
He's like, oh, beans, I'm dying from being ancient or whatever. And there's Trump. I mean, you can kind of see him down here just a little bit, just sort of looking, just kind of looking like, what do I do? He had a Windows 11 update. Oh my God. Yeah, he just got hit with the update, the unexpected update in the middle of the meeting. The dumb part is that meeting, that announcement, that press conference, whatever you want to call it, was for them to announce that they are working on subsidies for Ozempic. Ozempic being that like weight loss drug. It's like a weight loss injectable that's like getting really popular right now. And it's not a good idea. I'm not a doctor, but neither is RFK or Dr. Oz, and I wouldn't listen to them with regards to how to get healthy, because the people who are like, oh, we're going to make America healthy again, are now saying we're going to make America healthy again by reducing the cost of a drug that you inject yourself with to counteract being way overweight. Like, instead of saying, oh, we're going to put in effort to make sure that like our kids are getting paid for lunches that are nutritionally valuable, such that we can cut back on the like youth obesity issue. And like, we're going to also have all these other programs, or like you can get a tax cut if you purchase certain like whole foods from certain places, or like direct from farmer or something like that. Like, we're going to find other ways to get people to go out and like get like food that is healthy and good. And then they're like, instead, we're just going to say, go ahead and just poke yourself with this. Just do the thing. It's for diabetes. That's the problem, is that it's not. Like, it is. It's the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, like ostensibly, yeah. You know what also is for diabetes is fucking insulin that should be free, but they're trying to essentially pass a like, it's the same thing that this administration always does. They're trying to take the very obvious direct, point A to point B Band-Aid route. That's not going to fucking work and isn't going to actually solve the problem. They're trying to address the end results rather than fix the initial cause. And that's just kind of how Republicans operate at large. Like, they're not interested in thinking in systems. They're not interested in a complex narrative. They want clean, easy, put a bow on it kind of stuff. And this is perfect for them, right? Like, oh, we want to make people healthy. Okay, well, health equals weight, and this drug makes people lose weight, so we're going to make this drug more accessible. We've solved the problem. And like, already they start with health equals weight, which is completely wrong. So like, they're just trying to find, we're still dealing with effectively apex boomer brain rot. Like, everything that we see come out of this administration is a result of like the very overly simplistic view of the world held by like boomers and super conservatives and people who have no interest in learning anything about the world. And we have to deal with the outcomes of their incorrect assumptions about how the world works being the driving thing for our policy. And that is what's so frustrating with all of this. But like I said at the outset of this stream, like things are, we now have indicators that shit's shifting, right? Like we know that they are spooked. We've seen strategists for conservatives freaking out already. And honestly, it's just a matter of like, I see a lot of people saying that they think that this was proof, this past election day was proof that 2024 was stolen. And I still very strongly disagree with that. And if you think it was stolen, so be it. Like, my opinion doesn't have any implication on reality. But in my view, I don't think that it was stolen. I think it is a much easier pill for me to swallow. I think it's much easier to buy that the demographic shift that we're seeing is what happened. We saw a bunch of Gen Z boys, a ton of Gen Z boys swing to the right in 2024. And around that time, we were at I would hope we were at what I would hope would be the peak of the manosphere shit, right? Like, we watched as RFK and Trump and whoever else went on every single fucking right-wing podcast, and all these, like, all the podcasts that are like ostensibly not right-wing but are obviously right-wing, all the podcasts that, like, if you asked a person why they listen to whoever, they're like, well, he's not conservative, he's more centrist, he has all sorts of people on. And then when they actually start to list the people who are on, it's all conservatives. Those kinds of people, right? So they all were free, like, advertising for conservatives who were basically just saying, hey, vote for us and you will have an easy life. And this was happening at a time where it's like a bunch of young people especially are anxious about not having a life at all. They're looking to the future and they're seeing AI taking over shit. They're seeing people who are dedicating their lives to careers not being made right by their companies, or in the case of federal employees, people who dedicated, again, like 19 years to the government only to be booted with no retirement benefits. So they're freaking out, and it's like, hey, how do we, I'm both feeling as though I have no hope for the future. I feel like women won't talk to me. All of the role models that I have are telling me that that's not my fault, and that if I stay the course and do whatever, I will ultimately come out on top. And I have nothing else to offer, so I guess I'll just do that. And then in this past week, we saw a historic shift among, I think, specifically Gen Z boys. Gen Z boys shift polling 2024 or 2025. Let's see. I want to see, why does nobody just make graphs? Like, why does nobody make graphs ever? Make graphs. What is this? What is this? I'm searching Gen Z boys. Okay. Generational polling 2024 to 2025. Okay. Dear God. Oh, we had this one before. Yeah, young voters broke hard for Mamdani, so 18 to 29 went 78% Mamdani. Do we have... Most voters under 30 voted for Democratic candidates in New Jersey and Virginia and New York. Young women were particularly more likely. 8 in 10 young women under 30 supported the Democrat. 6 in 10 men under 30 did. There was more interestingly, I'm trying to find the shift from support for Trump before at the start of this year and the end now. I think Trump Gen Z approval. Okay. That's his overall approval. Come on, you guys. I just want a graph. I just want a chart of Gen Z approval rating of Trump over time. I feel like this is a thing that I should have been able to find by now. I don't want more Newsweek stuff. Newsweek fucking sucks, apparently. Gen Z. I'm just going to keep opening links until we find one. At this point, it's a matter of pride. Okay. Here we go. Oh God, don't open fucking Twitter. Dear fucking Lord. Donald Trump net approval. People under 30 is this red line here. And all adults is the green line. So we've got so like at the start of his tenure, Trump was positive with Gen Z. Trump was net positive with Gen Z. And this is what has happened to his approval since then. So this is in the negatives. The chart over here is going from 0 to -20 to -40. So he's more than -40 points net approval. So like 60% disapproval. That's pretty significant. Donald Trump's approval rating for our tracker has fallen to -18, the lowest it's ever been. I'm mad at... I think the issue, honestly, is that like there's no graphics and shit because of ChatGPT, right? Like ChatGPT wants to read in textual data, and so just all SEO is just write more text. And also half of fucking articles are just written by ChatGPT to be easy to comprehend by ChatGPT, so that when somebody asks Google a question, they just get whatever the answer from ChatGPT is, or Gemini, or whatever the fuck they call it. Approval and disapproval of Trump's job performance. 75% 18 to 29 disapprove. Just 20% of adults under 30 approve of Trump's handling, while 75% disapprove. The 20% approval among adults under 30 is a 30-point drop from February, where 50% of 18 to 29-year-olds approved of Trump and 42% disapproved. So like around the time that he actually got elected, he had young voter approval. That is, you can't ignore that. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it does make sense, but it shouldn't have been that way, but it was. He and his surrogates essentially convinced Gen Z to believe that, one, he saved TikTok, two, he was going to give them a future and money, because again, like Gen Z doesn't really see careers as a thing, which is like fine. I don't think that the default position for human beings should be, you've been born, now what job are you going to do? Like, I don't think that's how we should live our lives. Given that that's the case, what a lot of Gen Z folks are looking at right now is like, well, I don't want to have a fucking career because they're not gonna, like, there's no benefit to doing that really, but I do need money to live. And if Donald Trump says that I vote for him, I'll get more money. Like, he straight up went on TV and was like, if you vote for the Democrats, they will bankrupt you. But if you vote for me, you'll have a whole bunch of money. Like, that is what he did. And that message resonated for people who were disaffected, for people who were new voters, people who didn't understand what they were doing in the election. Look no further than the rampant support for Jill Stein on TikTok. There was a bunch of young people who had never voted in an election before, who were all like smitten with Jill Stein. And when people came in and they were like, hey, I get it. I get why you're looking for third party. But like, you need to understand that voting third party in the US presidential election doesn't make sense because of these reasons. And you need to understand that Jill Stein runs every single year and fails every single year and then disappears after the election, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. And they pushed back against that. And they were like, oh, you're a PSYOP or you're a Fed. trying to like stop people from voting for Green Party. If everybody just voted Green, then we would get out of this situation. And it's like, look, I get it. I really do. But no plan that starts with if everybody just is an actual plan. That's not a plan. That's a wish. That's a blind hope. And that's not how you actually get things done. So we had a whole bunch of people who were like, oh, RFK seems great. Oh, Jill Stein seems great. Oh, what is Kamala doing? So I don't buy that the election was stolen. I do buy that a bunch of very low information voters voted for Trump and more specifically didn't vote for the Democrats. Especially because okay, fucking all of everyone should be mad at Joe fucking Biden. Like Kamala Harris was not a good option and didn't run a good campaign. Joe Biden straight up stated that he wasn't going to run again and then did, purely because ego. Like he was like, nah, I do need to run again actually because I gotta continue what I was doing. And it's like, okay, well, what were you doing? Because you sure as shit weren't fucking arresting Trump or doing anything meaningful. Like what were you doing? So yeah, like instead he ran after saying he wouldn't run, which fucked over any notion of a primary and then resulted in us having this fuck ass campaign that was supposed to try to take over the course of like 3 months and completely fucking failed. I don't understand why a presidential administration of a country would actively choose not to step in. Like how did with all of the things that Nancy Pelosi has pulled, how did this go so fucking wrong? I think she was one of the ones that ultimately told him to step away, but waited so fucking long to do that. And it's like, Nancy Pelosi, you have made essentially every decision about the US government as far as Democrats go for essentially my whole life. And you just missed this one, I guess. Thanks for nothing. Go. She was too busy looking at all of her insider trading apps. I want an insider trading app. Biden made it legally impossible for anyone else to run by Kamala because of his refusal to drop out before the race. So nobody else could legally use the DNC money. Yeah, that's fucked. Like that's like his legacy is going to be that he hamstrung this country, essentially. Biden was very much too old and incompetent. I'm so glad that we're like finally able to just say this. Like I never once was like, oh, we can't talk about his mental state. Like, no, the dude was too old when he got elected, and he was too old every day after that. And every day after that, he got more too old for the job. Yeah, I know he had a stutter. Yeah, I know he had, difficulty with stringing together thoughts or whatever. It's not a good look to begin with. And if you can't fucking tell if he's sundowning or just stuttering, that's still a problem. Because he was absolutely sundowning. She's finally retiring at least. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi is not seeking re-election, which yay, but also I've been hurt before. I really hope she actually doesn't seek re-election. So far too late. Far too late. Biden was too old. The problem with that argument is that it comes from people who suck Trump's old dick. Yeah, for sure. I'm out. My comments are being deleted. Not by me. I haven't deleted a single comment. I'm not sure what's happening there, and I can see them. Jill Biden was doing a lot behind the scenes. I don't appreciate her either. It's just like we didn't need more political dynasty. We didn't need Biden in the White House because he was the vice president, and we didn't need Trump back in the White House because he was president before that. We didn't need another Bush. We didn't need another Clinton. We need to not do political fucking dynasties. We need to be a country that's run by the people, not by families that have recognizable names that have been ordained by powers that be, which is to say AIPAC. We have a minimum age limit for presidents. Let's have a maximum, perhaps the Social Security age. I mean, like, yeah, age maximums are a thing that we should probably have. It's such a losing argument because, like, you have to get the people who are in those positions to vote for those things. And, like, right now we're facing the crisis of being held hostage by 80-plus-year-old representatives who are not going to either relinquish their seat, let alone vote for that. So, like, we have to first get all of them out and then get people who are all willing to do that in. But there is something else that I think is very interesting that we shouldn't really lose sight of. Let me remember what the fuck it was called. Yes, here we go. This is really cool and a thing we should keep track of because, like, this could actually happen. The National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. So, for real quick context from for people who are not from the United States, the U.S. doesn't do popular vote for president. It does a really wacky system where each state calculates their votes, and whoever gets the popular vote in each state wins an arbitrary number of points based on that state, and whoever reaches the 50% mark of points wins the presidency, which means that votes in each state are wildly different. So, a person voting in Idaho and a person voting in California have very different impacts on the presidential election of the United States. Yeah. So this plan is a law that essentially, if enough states pass this law such that the sum of those states' points could win you a presidential election, then this law goes into effect. And what it does is all of those states say we're changing our election laws to give our votes to whoever wins the popular vote nationwide. So if enough states adopt this law, it will undermine the Electoral College in the United States of America by using it against itself to create a popular vote system out of the Electoral College. Obviously, that's a big fucking deal, because if we didn't have the Electoral College, we wouldn't have had a Republican president basically ever until, like, now. Trump, like, barely got more than 50% of the popular vote, but that hasn't been the case for every Republican president of my life. So if that happened, it would dramatically change the landscape of politics in the US. And here is a little indicator of how close we actually are. So there are 209 points of worth of states that have already adopted this framework and 34 pending, but there needs to be a total of 270 points worth of states for it to actually happen. Until that threshold is met, this is inert. This is a dormant law that doesn't do anything. But the second that threshold is met, it kicks into gear. So this is actually a thing that can happen on a state level to essentially change the way that the federal elections work. And the Fed can't really do anything about it. So if you are actually able to convince your state legislature to do this, and moreover, if you're able to get your state legislature to flip to a party that would be interested in doing this, which is to say just the Democrats, really, this is possible. Like, if there are states that are obviously reluctant to do this, because if they did this, they would screw themselves out of having the ability to elect a Republican ever again. But if enough states, even temporarily, are able to get flipped to a legislature composition that actually supports this, it's possible. Can you imagine if we started taking care of our people with social programs like most of Europe? That, like, can you imagine? Can you imagine if we just used our taxes to help people? Can you imagine? I think about this all the goddamn time. It's like we could be spending money on feeding people and housing people and curing people and healing people and teaching people and all sorts of stuff. And instead, like, what are we doing? We're watching as, like, people have no money. People can't afford food. People can't afford rent. People have to work 3, 4, 5 fucking jobs. People don't feel like there's a future. Most people are like, I'm not even planning for retirement because my retirement plan is to just die. Like, that is an average sentiment in the United States of America, is that my retirement plan is death. I didn't mean to be so grim here on this stream today. We can pull up a little bit. Let's pull up a little bit and talk about the FAA reducing airline capacity. Nope, not CBS. Actually, I'm going to go ahead. So this is a cool thing. I use a search engine called Kagi. Kagi is a, thank you, Sylvia. I can hydrate. I use a search engine called Kagi. It is a like premium search engine. It's like a paid subscription search engine, but because of that, it has no ads and it's really, really nice and very customizable and doesn't track you. And one of the things you can do is customize your preference for websites and like where they appear in search results. So for example, CBS News is no longer a trustworthy news outlet. It is now run by Barry Weiss, which is fucking terrible. So I can go over here and I can say, fuck it, don't show me this at all. Block. And now that won't show up in my search results. And you can do like, you know, lower, like make this lower, make this higher, or completely remove this. Pretty neat. FAA says it's cutting thousands of flights a day starting this week due to the shutdown. Here is the list of airports where flights are set to be reduced. The FAA is reducing flight capacity by 10% at 40 major airports. The restrictions go into effect Friday morning. This is a huge fucking deal. Do they say anything about the scale? The forthcoming reduction in capacity marks an unprecedented move by the FAA and the Department of Transportation. Bedford said that he has never seen this happen in a 35-year career. I'm trying to find... I've seen comparisons. Essentially, it's like this would be like the biggest outage for flights in history every day. Like whatever has been the biggest like moment in which a bunch of flights were canceled, this is going to surpass that every day until it stops, which is going to have a bit of an impact on things. And I'm real sorry for anybody who's traveling for the holidays. Hot damn if this doesn't get settled soon. That's going to be rough. I would like Kagi to have a paid tier to not have AI at all. Yeah, that is one thing I don't love is like Kagi's got like AI stuff baked in, but what is nice is that it's not default and it's not like in your face. They added like a button that's kind of off to the corner that lets you go into having the AI do stuff, and you can disable it, which is nice. But the other thing is that they are also at least by default using their own optimized systems and not just like globbing on to like ChatGPT and Gemini and Claude and whatnot. Like they still can do that, but their systems are intentionally built to be like efficient, which is like, okay. But I don't use those features whatsoever. Someone asked about Vivaldi. I use Vivaldi as my web browser. I definitely recommend it. Vivaldi browser. So Vivaldi is a Chrome-like browser that is super power user oriented. So it's not Firefox. It's running the same engine that Chrome uses, but it is a fork of Chrome that has all of the Google stuff ripped out of it and a whole bunch of like really user respecting power user features added to it, and a strictly no AI stance, which is sick. I've told this story multiple times now, but there was a really funny clip that the CEO of Vivaldi put out when they were teasing a new feature and people were concerned that that new feature was going to be AI. And so to get ahead of that concern, they made a clip that was the CEO coming out to a podium to give a speech, and he shuffles, straightens up some papers and whatnot, and he just goes, "It's not AI," and then walks off screen. So that was fun. So it's a non-AI power user browser. It's nice. You got these like, you can have these like sidebars where you can like pin websites, like pin like mobile sites. Like here's my chat as a sidebar mobile site. I can just like click, open that, close it if I want. You can tile tabs. So like this is what I'm looking at right now. Here's my Twitch dashboard, my YouTube dashboard, and my Owncast dashboard all on one page because I'm tiling them. It's really nice. It also has like a built-in email client and RSS reader. It's got a whole lot of stuff, and it's quite nice. So I would recommend it. I was using Firefox for a long time before this. It's like I said, it is a fork of Chrome, so like for some people that might be a deal breaker. But as a web developer, I am very aware of what Blink is and is not, and I'm fine using Chrome or using a Chromium-based project. But yep. Owncast, what is that? That's a great question. If you head to, let me go back to my desktop. If you go to live.endeavorance.tv, you will find my stream. This is Owncast. Owncast is a self-hosted streaming platform. So if you want to watch me not on YouTube or Twitch, you can go to live.endeavorance.tv and you can watch me there. There's still chat. You can log in, especially if you've got a Mastodon account. You can authenticate using your Mastodon account. It's really cool. It's just another way to watch the stream, basically. It's definitely extra, but I wanted to make sure that I've got a way for people to watch me without having to be on any other platform or whatever. So that's nice, and it's fun, and it's cool. Thoughts on Opera GX? It's spyware. Opera GX is spyware. I would recommend strongly against Opera GX. It's one of the more greedy browsers when it comes to collecting user data, and it is largely just collecting system information and creating a profile on you. I don't recommend it. They once reached out to me to do an ad spot because they were like, "We want you to talk to your viewers about the new Opera GX AI blah 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 blah," and I'm like, no, thank you. Yeah, it's a fucking tragedy. It's really sad because Opera used to be pretty good. Vivaldi spun out of Opera, so Vivaldi is the like Opera pedigree, whereas Opera used to be the very power user, privacy respecting, kind of quirky but weird and doing interesting things browser. That was Opera for a long time until it got bought out and started to become just like adware and spyware and crapware. And then now Vivaldi, hence like, do you like see the connection? Opera, Vivaldi, like that's how they broke off, and that's where they kept going with that mission, basically. I want to get rid of YouTube Music because once I stopped paying for it, it became absolutely obnoxious to use. I will never forgive Google for getting rid of Google Music. I will never, ever forgive Google for getting rid of Google Music. Ever. Vivaldi does not block website fingerprinting, which is a baseline for requirement for privacy. I don't believe that to be true. My understanding is the opposite of that. And if not, that's a thing you can fix with plugins. I would be very surprised if that were the case, because I've run into problems with fingerprinting methods being blocked in Vivaldi when I was trying to use them for non-nefarious purposes. So I don't know. Maybe it used to be the case, but maybe that's changed. I can look that up later, but. That thing is so dog shit. Wait, what thing? What thing is dog shit? Also, I misread this at first and read that dog is so shit. And I'm like, excuse me. Excuse me. Calling my dog shit. My dog's not shit. I'm gonna give him a kiss. Oh, YouTube Music is the dog shit. Got it. Here's the thing. I'm mad at, what was I saying? I'm mad at Google. I'm mad at Google because of Google Music, because Google Music was fucking great. It was exactly the music streaming service that we need. It's kind of what Apple Music is now, but it was better. It was a web-based music player that let you upload your music library. So if you're the kind of person who has a music library, you could upload all of that, and it would mix in your music library with all the music that you wanted to include or save or add. Again, a lot like how Apple Music works. But it also, they looped in, what was it, Songza? Some platform that was really well known for playlists at the time. And so it had like incredibly good playlists, both like manually curated and automatically created. And it was just like so accessible and so usable, and it had such good library management options. It was really great for ensuring that all of your music had correct metadata. It was really great at just being a good music streaming platform. And then they were like, we're getting rid of this and making everybody use YouTube Music because we said so. And like, I have no idea what the feature set of YouTube Music is at this point, but when it came out, like when that transition happened, they were like, hey, everyone needs to transition to YouTube Music, which does not have the same feature set. So they're like, hey, you've been using Google Music. Cool. Fuck you. Go use this other product that is a completely different thing. Deal with it. Like that was when I really stopped using Google, like everything. It wasn't Pandora. It was something else. I think it was Songza. I watch YouTube. That premium is worth it for me. I don't get the YouTube premium hate. I kind of don't. And maybe it's because I'm a software boy. And I understand that being told that you should pay for something that was previously free sucks. And also, YouTube Premium has got to be like one of the best deals in terms of media consumption. Like if you consume a lot of YouTube media, it is a really great deal to not have ads while still supporting those people who you are consuming the content of at a price that is nowhere near making money for Google. I should probably double check that statement, but doing some random back of my brain calculations in my head right now, I don't see how, aside from Google having Google money, I don't think that YouTube Premium could possibly cover the hosting costs of YouTube. But largely it's just like, it's more just like the visceral hatred of the subscription existing and like calling out people who have it. Like if you watch a lot of YouTube and you don't feel like dealing with third-party apps that automatically block ads, or you want to make sure that you are still paying the creators, YouTube Premium is a very reasonable purchase. Like it comes with YouTube Music, it gets rid of all the ads, it gives you like other features and shit. I don't like that they made it so that you can't download stuff and listen to it offline unless you have premium. That's dumb as shit. But I don't know. I think paying a subscription to be paying a subscription to get an ad-free viewing experience makes sense for YouTube. What I don't understand is the visceral hatred of it. The algorithm is absolute trash at this point. That is fair. That's very fair. That's very, very fair. I'm thinking more like, if you're the kind of person who has the channels that you watch and you watch them consistently, and like you want to not deal with ads and you want to chip in without having to subscribe to everybody's individual Patreons or something, like it's a fair play. Only ever had Opera GX for the ad block. I mean, you can get ad block on every browser, really. A lot of browsers come with it built in now, but even still, you can get plugins that do far more in-depth ad blocking. I don't trust anything from Google by default. If I could trust Google, I might, but big companies hate everyone by default. You're going to get no pushback from me there. I don't trust Google. I don't really see having the subscription as a trusting relationship, but I understand what you're saying there. Like I get that sense. My subscription is literally just so I don't get fucking ads when I want to watch a stupid video from one of my channels. Lilith says, I refuse to use YouTube Music streaming services at this point. I get my music and put it on a dedicated player like ye old days. That's the way to go, honestly. Like, there's a website, 7 Digital? Yeah, 7 Digital. Go do this. You want music? Go to 7 Digital, 7digital.com, and you can buy albums from this like neutral website. It's like a direct sale thing, and you can download high quality DRM free files for the albums. So you can download literally lossless if you want. And yeah, so you can just buy individual songs or the album, and then you have it forever. No DRM. It's just MP3s. Like you don't need to play it in a specific player. You don't need to keep your account or anything. You just download the files and you have them. So if you wanted to start building a music library, or like if you knew that there were certain albums that you wanted to have a hard copy of, this is a great place to do it. It's pretty affordable. It's easy, and it's, again, DRM free. So I would definitely recommend that. Obviously the economics are very different. Like here it's $12 for an album, and that's probably, a month of premium music streaming, but it also is a thing that you keep forever. +1 for Bandcamp. Someone shitty bought Bandcamp recently. Who bought Bandcamp? Was it Epic, I think? Songtrader. Yeah. Songtrader, a music licensing platform. Yeah, Bandcamp fucking sucks now. I'm very sorry for the people who are saying Bandcamp is great. Bandcamp is fine. Use Bandcamp. It's fine. Use Bandcamp. It's fine. But do be aware that if you're using Bandcamp to try to use like an indie service, it is owned by a giant music licensing platform now. It is not an indie service. It was owned by Epic Games for a bit. It is now owned by a really fucking shitty giant media marketing company. So like, be aware of that. Just be aware of that. I'm very sorry. This is the problem, is people will come to me and ask for like advice or information about like internet stuff, and pretty much all of my advice is, yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, it's real bad. Yeah, it's so much worse than you thought. Except for AI, or at least the energy consumption of AI. That is very much overblown. That is not accurate in the slightest. The whole like AI is consuming all of the available water in the world and is using like more energy than everything ever. That's just completely incorrect. I don't really know how that got so rampantly popular. I've seen the argument that that the environmental argument against AI took root because it let people who weren't going to use AI anyway feel morally superior about not using it by repeating that line. But ultimately it just says, like, I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about when people repeat that. Like, it definitely uses a lot of energy, but it's like that's been going on, and there are other systems that use far more. Like, crypto's still far worse. Pretty much all of our, like, the meat industry alone is like dwarfs any impact that AI has on climate emissions and shit. Data centers still definitely suck, and all the energy usage is fucking bad, and the fact that, like, Elon fucking Musk is using a data center powered by coal to try to power his perversion machine, that sucks. That part definitely is real and sucks. The part where it's like, you know, people who are living in these data centers are having their waters poisoned and they can't breathe. But the notion that using AI is like a primary driving factor of, like, climate change right now is completely incorrect. Like, it is very overblown. AI servers are also getting more and more efficient, and Nvidia isn't the only company making chips. We need new music. We need new music soon. Jangly vibes. Hell yeah, jangly. Anyway, AI servers are getting more and more efficient. Kind of. AI chips, or the chips that are in the servers that are processing AI stuff, are getting more tailored to AI. AI is an inherently inefficient system. Like, it is inefficient by design, and that's part of the problem. Anyway, that's kind of it. At the end of the day, here's what it comes down to. Using the internet is a net negative on the environment. Everything that we do is going through a data center in some way. How you as a consumer of the internet are engaging with things isn't really the thing that's driving the energy consumption. Ultimately, it is like, it's a mess of things, right? We need to not trample people's neighborhoods to build data centers because reasons. Like, what we need to not have right now is a bunch of tech CEOs feeling as though they have the divine right to build as many data centers as they want everywhere. We should not have that. To focus and act like AI is the thing that's causing this problem ignores the actual problem. I think that's the concern that I have with regards to people sharing that sentiment of, like, AI bad because energy consumption. Like, AI bad because a lot of reasons. Energy consumption is a thing it does, and that's you know, a net negative, but also taking a single flight is worse, you know, that kind of thing. Didn't they play Doom on an orbiting satellite? That sounds right. I want to play Doom on an orbiting satellite. The question is, did they render Doom on the satellite or send a guy up there to play within a satellite? That's what I want to do. AI psychosis. Now, that is also a problem. The psychosis of tech bros genuinely believing that they are building God in their AIs, that's the problem. There are legitimately people out there who believe that they are creating the next evolution of humanity in their fucking plagiarism machines. Like, they made a computer have a mouth and listened to what it had to say, and then they listened to the computer and believed it, which is terrifying. Quite unhinged. Fucking scary indeed. Play Doom for us? I won't play Doom. I might play Stardew Valley though. I've got other things written on my list of things to talk about, but I don't think I want to talk about them because it's like, I don't want to talk about Republicans anymore. Can I stop talking about Republicans? Are we good with that? Gas-powered leaf blowers and pump out more emissions than a Ford F-150 running for the same amount of time while oxidizing the user. Let's get rid of those first. Yes. Two-stroke engines need to go the fuck away. Holy shit. Oh my god. My municipality banned two-stroke engines last year. None of the landscaping companies did a fucking thing. They all just kept using them. That's me being a two-stroke engine. They're really, really, really bad. Who's your favorite spouse in Stardew and why isn't it Shane? Well, hold on. I do like Shane's story, but I think my favorite spouse is probably... I mean, Leah. She's hot. I mean, look, I don't know. Look, it's the cute art girl in the hut in the woods, okay? Okay, I can fix her. Although she doesn't really need fixing. The only engine I stroke. Boo! My neighbor uses a leaf blower every day for like 2 hours to get every leaf off his property, and I want to scream. It's just leaves. It's just leaves. Just leave them. That's why they're called leaves. So that you can leave them. Let's play Stardew Valley. For a smidge. Because here's the thing. Quick guys, let's talk about Republica. No. A rake exists. I don't want to rake anymore. I'm done raking, I think. I think I'm done with that. Get off my lawn. How do I change? I need to change my stream deets on Twitch. Stardew Valley. Cool. We did it. Let's play some Stardew Valley while talking about whatever. I'm still going to be yapping, but I'll be yapping while I'm doing really, really good work on my really, really good farm that's doing really, really well and really is on track for anything. I forgot that I have 3 cuck chairs. Well, I have 2 cuck chairs and a cuck love seat. I'm really doing well. I'm cornering the market here. What's the forecast? It's gonna be sunny as fuck. Get these stupid tree pods off my lawn. Yo, get these tree pods. What's a tree pod? Where are my cows? I need to touch that udder. Go touch udder. Leaves are just pretty. Let me have leaves. Here's the thing. Leaves are crunchy. And we like crunchy leaves. If we have crunchy leaves, then my brain is happy because that's what I'm doing when I'm going for a walk. Can I get milk, please? Zombie. Zombie, please. Okay, thank you, Zombie. Pull those udders. Yeah, trying to suck that udder. Dev loves cucking is what I've heard. I mean, there's cucking, and then there's cuckery, being the cucky. The cucker and the cucky, if you will. This is a family-friendly show. What's up? What's up? Going to need an explanation of the cuck chair, please. I don't know how to handle this situation. I'll tell you when you're older, I'll tell you when you're older, I think is the answer to this situation. Once I went on a date and we went to a park and he spent like a solid half hour stepping on the leaves and rating their crunch. And honestly, I need more of that in my life. That sounds like a really good date. Holy shit. That's up there with like, let's go foraging for mushrooms together. That's like an instant drop, right? Like if someone, if someone came up to you and was like, hey, let's go forage for mushrooms together. Like instant win. You've landed that one from the get-go. Why are we talking about exhibitionism? What's going on? How did we get here? Why we're talking about cuck chairs, exhibitionism, utter tugging, stuff like that. Sounds awesome. No, I don't want to eat large egg. I mean, I do want to eat large egg is the thing. Did you marry this person? I'm assuming you're asking that I didn't date that person. So the answer is no, I did not marry their date. Just add ice cream to leaf date. Perfection. I had a root beer float last night, and it was really good. And here's a summer squash. And another summer squash. Do I need to donate any of this? Donate that. Donate that. Anything else? Okay, no, just those two. I'm gonna go do that. Right now. Asking about the date. Root beer floats are really fucking good. They are the pinnacle of all desserts, I believe, aside from key lime pie, which is undeniably the best pie, period. Aside from, like, pecan pie. Had a vegan peanut butter milkshake once, and it ripped a hole right through me. That does sound like it'll rip a hole through you. Very much so. I think the thing is that root beer floats walked so boba could run. And here's the thing about that is I have no idea if root beer floats or boba came first. Can someone pull that up? Can someone check if what came first, root beer float or boba? It's kind of like a chicken versus egg situation. Base dessert takes from Dev. I see you. Thank you. Thank you, Toofy Games. Thank you. Someone recognizing my incredible taste. I need detritus to give to the spirits. Peas in a can pie. You forgot cherry cheesecake and chocolate cream. Cherry cheesecake's aight. Cherry cheesecake's aight. It's aight. It's aight. I'm more of a chocolate cheesecake guy. Methinks. Where does this one bundle? What bundle do you go to? Where do I place you? Oh, you go here. I was already looking at that earlier. I'm an idiot. Okay. Wait, are we in winter? No. We're in fall. Root beer floats totally had their time years back. Boba is newer, at least as far as my cultural zeitgeist stuff. Yeah, so like, it's a matter of, am I just white, and therefore I was aware of root beer floats significantly earlier than I was aware of boba? Or did boba come about after the advent of the RBF? As a 90s kid, I'm a raspberry cheesecake kind of guy. I once, growing up, as a child, when I was a kid and younger, my next door neighbors were both employees at Cheesecake Factory. And my dad would mow their lawn, which wasn't really a lawn. We lived in a townhouse, and like it was a strip of grass in a median in front of their house. So my dad was just like, whatever, I'll just get that too. He kind of just mowed the entire road. But they would thank him by donating cheesecakes to our family fund. So I had a lot of cheesecake growing up. This is not a complaint. This is more of a brag. Selling more shit. Oh, wait. Someone wants a hot pepper, right? Old guy wants a hot pepper, I think. Yeah. Bring George a hot peepee. Let's do it. Get George a hot peepus. Knee high to a grasshopper. What does that mean? Free cheesecake? Oh god, it was so good. It was so fucking good. And it was like, I think the only thing that was better than that is when I worked at Panera. I worked at Panera Bread for a little while, and at the end of the day, I would just be able to take home any leftover, any baked good. So tons and tons of bagels and cookies and cakes and loaves. Real good shit. We donated everything else that was still left over, of which there was usually a ton. So it was like, take what you want, and we'll get rid of the rest. So it was just going to go away anyway. And they could never get through all of it. So it was like, please take some. Take this. Meatman says, okay, chat and Dev, gotta get going for the day. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe and spooky. It's November. You're supposed to be thankful, not spooky. But okay. RBF is older. Boba's from the 80s in Taiwan. I think soda floats are from the 50s. Damn. Damn. If that's the case, that means that I'm amazing and correct. What am I doing with iron bars in my inventory? What am I doing? I need to sell everything. Two things can be true. What two things can be true? You can be spooky and thankful? You can be thankfully spooky. I did see Christmas decorations this morning when I went to go get some breakfast. It was fucked up, and I'm traumatized. Rainbow shell, spice berry, solar essence, sweet pea, large egg. I want a cheese machine. Can I make a cheese machine yet? I can, because I don't have hardwood. Selling the milk. Selling the mayo, broccoli seeds. Broccoli seeds. That's summer. This is fall. Okay, yeah, that goes in fall. I don't want no broccoli seeds. I don't want this shitty sprinkler. Oh no, it's a quality sprinkler. Oh, it's a quality sprinkler. Oh, it's so sprinkle tinkle. Oh, very good. Okay, but I want to do. Do I still have to do that thing where you put down a piece of wood? Or like a floor before you put down a sprinkle tinkle so that you don't accidentally hoe it up? I'm always accidentally hoeing it up is the problem that I'm trying to avoid. I know that was a thing in the past. Yeah, okay. Well, it's at least still a thing. I don't know if it's still required, but... Apparently you do have Flying Tiger over there, or maybe you did. I've never heard of Flying Tiger. What's Flying Tiger? I've heard of Crouching Tiger, followed by a Hidden Dragon. Oh, I forgot about my kegs gyrating. Oh, very good. Can I make more of them? Need oak resin. A lot of it. Do I have oak resin? That's not oak resin. That's not even kind of oak resin. Let's get stuff going. What is happening? How do I play this game? Does anyone know? Materials, put these away. Where's food? Gifts, skilling, monsty stuff. I think skilling is where I'm putting food. Sell my eggs. Wait, no. Process my eggs. That is not oak resin? Why isn't it oak resin? Who needs oak resin? Oh, I need oak resin. For the thing I said I was going to do. Whoops. In my defense, how am I supposed to remember what I said 5 minutes ago? All right, I'm like playing a game. I'm watching chat. That's the entirety of what I'm doing. So it stands to reason that I wouldn't remember anything I'm saying. And I don't need you putting that stress on me. Can I mine this? Why can't I mine this? It's not strong enough to break this yet. I'm gonna just run to the mines real quick. See if I can get deeper. What I heard is Dev is babysitting chat. When am I not? When am I not herding cats over here? That's like all I ever do. What's up, guy? A warm rain is a pleasant way to get clean, he says. You're not wrong. Not wrong at all. Please do babysit me. I've had enough of being a big person. God, I would be a terrible dad. And the reason I say that is because I would just tell you to go sit in the corner. sit on the floor and let your feet hang. That's what my grandma used to say. That's what I would tell people. You come up to me and you're like, Dad, I'm bored. I'm like, go sit on the floor and let your feet hang. All right, here we go. Look at this little guy. Get dead. Be dead. Come on now. It's still not oak resin yet? Look, I'm actively seeking. Can you not see that I'm currently mining for oak resin? This is how you get oak resin. Is you go into the mines and you hit things with a pickaxe. Rocks are trees. We know this. Heading out says I have to beat a storm to work. Your coworker is a storm? Brie cheese. That's interesting. You'll have to tell us about that sometime. Just got off work. What did I miss? Says Thunder Gunner. Are you sure that you just got off work and are not a storm? That's some wild timing. Graham would always say boring people get bored. Oh my God. So you'd be like, I'm bored. And she'd be like, well, that's because you're fucking boring. Get a hobby. Oh my God. That's brutal. That is so brutal. I used to just get hay is for horses all the time. That's all I ever got. Whoop that storm's ass. I'm really glad to know that this chat is filled with people that would gladly take on the might of an entire storm with regards to their commute. Because that's the energy that I bring every day to the office. But I've only got one coworker, and he really just sleeps on the job a lot. Like a lot. But I love him for it. Best coworker I've ever had. I'll tell you what. Copper. Dog cam for the win. Yeah, that's pretty much the only reason that I think anybody comes to my stream to begin with is the dog cam. I'm aware that like I'm sort of a booby prize at this point and that he's sort of the star of the stream. It happens. I've come to terms with it. I got a propeller hat! Incredible. Incredible and amazing and wonderful. Oh my God. Now we're gaming. This is gamer time. Welcome to gamer time. Character. We have the exact same hair. My entire monitor just turned off momentarily. Well, we have the exact same hair and the exact same propeller hat. So I am currently cosplaying my guy. We're so joyful and whimsical. God damn. I love joy and whimsy. Fucking love whimsy. Have you no whimsy in your heart? Must find it. Explore. Whimsy. My hair is still fucked. I need a whimsical hat. I get people asking me quite a lot. I saw somebody asked earlier, like, what's under my beanie? The answer is nothing. The answer is a shave. My head. And I highly recommend it. To anyone who has been considering shaving it all off, do it. It's so good. You save money. You don't have to worry about haircuts. Ever. You don't have to worry about bedhead. You don't have to worry about, like, shampoo and drying your hair. Like, when you go to the shower, you don't have to sit there and dry your hair forever anymore. Like, you can just pat your head dry and you're fine. It's great. Huzzah Fancy Pants says, anyone else's audio cutting out? I would also like to know the answer to that. Because I had, like, a bit of a power blip here. So if the audio is cutting out, please let me know. Oh, you're not a rock. You're a bad guy. I'm gonna fucking die! Woo! Run away! Oh, run away! Let's eat something? Do I have anything with which to heal? Maple syrup it is. I want to go kill that guy. I'm gonna go kill him. I'm gonna murder him with a gun. Pew. 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 Shoot with guns. Okay. 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 Dingus dying moment. No, I almost died. I almost died because I freaked out and didn't do anything. But then I took control. I commanded the situation. And I killed that guy with a gun. My gun does look like a wooden mallet, but trust me, it's a gun. The game logic of drinking straight sugar for heals is my favorite. I love any game in which the healing items are just food. The notion that it's like, oh yeah, someone just stabbed you. Eat a wheel of cheese, Skyrim guy. Like, this, the idea of, like, you know, eat your entire inventory full of food. Like, you just put out a fucking buffet in the boss arena while the boss is just sitting there waiting for you to finish eating everything. And then you get right back into fighting, like you're not supposed to wait 20 minutes after eating your meal. Why can't I sleep in my cuck chairs? Vampire Survivors, a whole chicken. Yeah, floor chicken. You walked over some floor chicken and now you're healed. Stab wound cheese to the rescue. Just got shot. Time to drink irradiated toilet water, says Fun Predictable. That's just the American experience, honestly. All right, I'm gonna play one more day. Pam is thirsty. She wants a pale ale. Get to the bottom of the mines. Find Mary Lewis's shorts. Bring Jody a cauliflower. Forecast. It's going to be clear and sunny tomorrow. Perfect weather for the dance of the midnight jellies. The event will take place on the beach starting between 10 p.m. and 12 a.m. Don't be late. That is so far past my bedtime. So far past my bedtime. Pulls out a whole charcuterie board. I fucking love charcuterie. More like shit-cuterie, am I right? Not really, because charcuterie is delicious. Although I've had a bad charcuterie board. It's disappointing when that happens. Where does my hat go? Does it go in my random shit box? It does. I'm gonna put more random shit in my random shit box. Wood. Why am I carrying around a shitload of wood? Morning. I need to do my animal stuff. Animals, come here. Let me hug you. Gotta hug my chickens. Now give me your children. Thank you. Thank you. Nope. Okay. Thanks for the child. I'm gonna turn your child into a bit of a sandwich spread. You know, it happens, but how can charcuterie be bad? Just like flavors that don't go together, or like they, you know, it comes out and it's like primarily, if If you bring me a charcuterie board and it's primarily pate, get the fuck out of here. I didn't order pate. I ordered a board of garbage, and you gave me stinky meat paste. It's not what I asked for. But also, I just don't like pate, personally. So it's more of a personal beef than anything else. I also don't like stinky cheeses. That's because I'm a huge fucking wimp. Perks of a big mug. I'd be hydrating. I actually had to go and stop using the big mugs in my house because, like, when I started taking ADHD medication, I had to stop drinking as much caffeine because, like, you're not really supposed to do both. So I worked for a while on reducing my caffeine intake quite considerably, and part of that was just like using smaller mugs, and I miss my big mugs. I miss my big mugs. I want them back. I'll be so for real. Tea is also something of a real-world potion of stamina / vitality. Yeah, I like that so much. I like whenever like fantasy franchises or whatever invoke coffee as a thing, or invoke like tea, and like the whole trope of like, oh, in fiction, in the world, they just discovered caffeine, and it's like a game changer, and like now caffeine is a chemical and component at play within this world that otherwise has like magic. Pam, where are you? It's 9 a.m. Drink this pale ale. Real nice and happy. Notes of citrus and pine. Thanks, kid. Now she's ready to go to work driving a bus. I mix my chai concentrate with coffee and call it a potion of empty bowels. Oh no. I'm too poor for either, so I just get to suffer. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Brew tea from dandelion leaves. That's a thing. Dandelion leaves have caffeine, or I think they have, it has like trace caffeine, but you can brew a tea out of it that's caffeinated. So there you go. Go find a yard with a bunch of weeds in it. What I'm telling you to do is go process some weed. Dandelion root. I thought it was the flower, the petals, the green petals that surround the flower. I could be very wrong. Bonk, bonk, bonk. I think it's the leaves too. Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, it sounds like I should go make some dandelion tea as a video for an experiment. Sounds about right. Anon NHATF says, hi, thanks for everything you do. Thank you. You're welcome for everything that you do. You're very welcome. I didn't mean to go out. I wanted to put my bucket away. Okay. There's so many things you wouldn't think you could brew. It's crazy. What happens when we're disconnected from the world around us? I don't like how disconnected the average human is from the earth. Does that make sense? We're just like not human anymore. Like, we don't do things that are human now. We just do whatever the fuck this is. Like, I don't know. I feel like I should know about the local plants and weather systems and how best to use the parts of the animals from this area and shit like that. It's almost like humans were supposed to be, you know, a part of the ecosystems that they're a part of and not conquering ecosystems, but so be it. Here we are. Roots are for tea, leaves are for salad. But then what the hell? Wait, but then what's like tea? What's like black tea? That's leaves, right? It's tea leaves. Or are you saying for dandelion specifically? My friend told me you can smoke lavender, and I think I'm gonna add it to my world building lore. Oh, fuck yeah. That sounds cool. Take these bluebies. Take all of my stuff, actually. Just like all of it. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Peeps can vibe with the ecosystems they're a part of, or with the ecosystems they're a part of. I just like, the more I learn about like indigenous culture and shit, the more it's just like, that makes so much more sense than whatever the hell we're doing here. Like, what we're doing here is basically saying like, hi, I deserve to be here and don't deserve or don't need to be a custodian of this land. Also, I think that private companies should be able to own natural resources, which is whack. It doesn't make any sense to me, as opposed to like, hey, we're going to raise you to understand, respect, and be able to traverse this land and maintain it for generations to come. Seems like a pretty reasonable approach. Going back to the mines. Bring some more food and bomb and river jelly. I might have missed the news segment earlier, but did you go over the Farmer's Almanac ending their publication? Slightly relevant to the video game. I did not. That's a lot. That's been a thing for a long time. Excuse me. Huh. Very tired boy. Did not get a contiguous night's sleep, but that's kind of to be expected at this point. It's just sort of the standard operating procedure is not sleeping well. All right, we're going to try to get to 65 this time. See if it goes. See if it works. 55. Well, 65. Ah, get out of here. What are they called? Slimes? Whatever they all are? The globbies? Blobby boys. Get out of here, you blobbies. I think they're slimes. Oh my god, die. Oh my god. Holy shit, die. Okay. Bats! Be gone! The spirits must be, pretty perturbed today. Ooh, amethyst. Ooh, amethyst. I learned the vast majority of gemstones from Diablo 2. That's the truth of the matter. Like, I knew what a topaz was exclusively because of Diablo. And I was very distraught to learn that if I wore a topaz in real life, it doesn't give me lightning damage. So that's fucked up. I also learned the words matriarch and patriarch from that game. Like that is where I learned those words. Was Diablo 2. Patriarchy? No. Diablo? Yes. I learned ores on RuneScape to a degree. Yeah, same. Yeah, for sure. Like I learned about how metal gets smelted by like combining metals from RuneScape. Diablo 2 is so goated. It's so good. When the Diablo 2 remake came out, or remaster or whatever, I was so excited to play it when I saw that they were gonna like keep essentially the original game, and all the sound effects and everything, and just sort of like upgrade the graphics and make it modernized. Like, I got so excited. And then the whole like Blizzard meltdown scandal happened, and I was like, I'm not giving them my money. So I have still not played the Diablo 2 remake, and I genuinely, that's one of the few ones that hurts, because it's like, that game is so formative to me, and like, but at the same time, there are other games and I will live. Can you not kill me, please? But Diablo 2 is really fucking good. It's kind of wild how good that game is, and how like few games have been able to feel as comprehensively solid as that one. And especially in its own franchise. Like, what Diablo has become now is a very different game than what Diablo 2 was. But that's okay. But I attribute pretty much the entirety of skill trees in video games to Diablo 2. And like, I know that they didn't invent that concept, but they did. Like, Diablo 2 had a very strong like skill tree and synergy system, and that kind of set the standard for like ARPGs and learning skills. And I think it kind of broke everyone's brains, because now it's just like there are skill trees in every game ever, regardless of if it's necessary or not. Sit a while and listen. It's stay a while and listen. But also, yeah. And also, good day to you, partner. I'm Geed. And then I can also recite the fucking the moldy tome from Act 1. And so it came to pass that the Countess, who once bathed in the rejuvenating blood of 100 virgins, was buried alive. And her castle, in which so many cruel deeds took place, fell rapidly into ruin. Like, that's just burned into my brain. I'm starting to feel exhausted. No, I'm not. I got a cave carrot. Can't be exhausted when you got a cave carrot. Ah, bat. That bat should have had a cave carrot. I just want one more floor. 2 more floors. Please. And thank y'all. I'm gonna die. 2 more floors, please. Aha. Okay, okay, I can make this happen. It's 9:50. I'm running out of energy. I made it happen. Oh my god, I'm so good at Valley of the Stardew. Holy shit. Okay. Give me whatever's in here. I got a slingshot. That's going in the fucking trash. It's so bad. Did they make the slingshot any better, or is it still like the single worst thing in this game? Question, is Diablo based in high fantasy? I would call it gothic fantasy. It is specifically like gothic fantasy. Lots of like old rundown church symbolism, pools of, you know, vats of blood, demonic enemies, stuff like that. It's more gothic fantasy than it is high fantasy. And like, it's specifically leaning into the gothic fantasy kind of thing. Oh, I got a dwarf scroll. Hell yeah. Okay. Oh, the cat's on the bed. Hell yeah. Ooh, fighter or a scout. All attacks deal 10% more damage, or crit increases by 50%. What are the downstream effects? Stardew skill upgrades. What are the secondary effects here? So if I go farming, mining, foraging, fishing, combat. Okay. Fighter can get brute, which is deal 15% more damage, or defender, which is 25 plus 25 HP. Scout can get acrobat, faster specials, or desperado, which is critical strikes or deadlier. I think I'm gonna do scout. When are the Space Marines then? Wait, what about the Space Marine? Wait, what about Space Marines? Is that a rhetorical question about the slingshot? Did they actually make the slingshot better? Like, has the slingshot been made better? Because in my experience, it's like the worst item in the game by a lot. Like a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna close it down. I need to get some food in me and I need to rest for a little while. But thank you all so very much for hanging out with me today on this here stream. Did some yapping and then did some Stardew. It was a good time. There's gonna be a new episode of Stuff Keeps Happening on Monday. There's also a new episode of Minecraft Sisyphus Edition that's already out on my gaming channel. I will link directly to it. Let's see. Endeavorance Games. Copy link address. And there you go. There you go. Yeah, there's a new episode of Minecraft Sisyphus Edition over on my gaming channel, Endeavorance Games. It is a series in which I'm attempting to beat Minecraft on hardcore mode, despite not knowing how to beat Minecraft. And if I die, I have to restart from the beginning. So, new episode's up already. Another new episode in a couple weeks. I stream every day. I stream every day, all day. I stream every Wednesday and Friday at 11 a.m. U.S. Eastern. And aside from that, I'll see you on Monday. Take care, be well, and bye forever. Until next time.